Welcome to United Country, Country Lifestyles. Brought to you by Riverside Realty and Auction. Come along as we travel highways, byways, hills, and fields of this extraordinary and majestic region. Sit back, relax, and enjoy United Country, Country Lifestyles.
Hi folks, welcome to United Country, Country Lifestyles. We're out in Clear Fork today on Al and Neil's farm. It's late January, the temperatures have been down. We're enjoying the winter time. We need the snow and the rain. We've got a real exciting show for you this month. We're going to go over to Saltville and interview Big Tom Buchanan. He was on the Survivor show. Big Tom's got a lot of exciting things going on in his life now. We also have our ag expert Mike Harris with us.
And while we were over at Saltville, we stopped at D&H Tractor with Matt Fry, one of our good friends. He helps a lot of people with the farm machinery needs and stuff, and supplies them with parts. And on this show, we don't sell advertising. We just feature some good country folks that can help you with your needs and try to get the word out about how great they are.
Thanks for tuning in. Please stick around. We got a great show, so just enjoy.
Hi there folks, I'm in the Cove section of Tazewell County on a beautiful property that we're going to be marketing. Let's take a tour.
Looking for a large property to hunt, fish, take in nature, start a mountain ranch, or establish a corporate retreat? United Country Riverside Realty and Auction is proud to present the following property in the Cove section of Tazewell County, Virginia. Located 10 miles southwest of the town of Tazewell on State Route 91, this 514-acre property is truly a rare find. Facing south with sweeping views of Tazewell County's valleys and mountains, this property has much to offer, including an excellent interior road system and ample water via ponds, springs, and river. It has been thoughtfully managed by its owners. Biodiverse would describe this property. White-tailed deer, wild turkey, black bear, red fox, and bobcat are plentiful. Red-tailed hawk, blue heron, owls, crows, dove, red-winged blackbirds, finches, bluebirds, and meadowlarks are a common sight due to the abundance of habitat and food sources. Bald eagles are reported seen on occasion. The terrain is mixed from rolling and sloping to steep and is vegetated with bluegrass, native and introduced grasses, shrubs, brush, and trees. Many species, including majestic centuries-old oaks, which line an abandoned thoroughfare. Forgotten varieties of apple trees are dispersed throughout the property for the deer population. Hunting blinds are located along trails and feeding areas. Many extraordinary deer have been harvested on this property. Last but not least, flanking the property on the western side is the Little River, which is located in the Clinch River Basin and a tributary of the world-renowned Clinch River. The Clinch River Basin has been described by the Nature Conservancy as one of the last great 20 places in the world. The Little River has its origins just a few hundred yards upstream, as pure cold water flows from a deep underground aquifer on its journey 17 miles to the Clinch River. The Class 1 and 2 waters are navigable at certain times of the year by kayak and canoe. The new owner will enjoy a gated entrance and private road that parallels the river, as well as access from Route 91. Morris Knob, towering in the background at just over 4,400 feet, is just one of the many beautiful scenic features offered by this extraordinary wild property. The Cove is a peaceful and historic farming community with descendants of revolutionary heroes still tending their ancestral lands. Land typically passes quietly from generation to generation. Shown to well-qualified buyers by appointment only, unavailable to the public since the early 1800s, opportunities to purchase property of this caliber come along but once in a lifetime. Will you own a property located in an area described by the Nature Conservancy as one of the last 20 great places in the world? Call Marcus Gilbert or any agent at Riverside Realty and Auction for a private showing.
Hi folks, welcome back to United Country, Country Lifestyles. We've got the pleasure of being in Rich Valley today with our good friend Tom Buchanan. Tom's famous for his appearance on Survivor. I think it was Survivor Africa one time, and then you were on Survivor All-Stars.
Yeah, that was episode 3 was Africa, and then the 7 was All-Stars.
Yeah. I'm also here with my business partner Al and Neil and our good friend Mike Harris. Mike Harris is our ag expert on our show. And folks, Tom is a real farmer. I mean, these guys have got a tremendous operation here. Tom, tell us a little bit about your operation.
Well, I don't know if I'm a real farmer, but we have been making a living off of cattle. We keep about 1,000 head of cattle, and we've got a couple thousand acres of land that we're proud to say that we've bought, not inherited. I mean, I'd love to inherit some, but this day and time, farming is a tough business, and it takes more than just the acre of tobacco and sheep and this and that, or a Holstein calf on the bucket to make it. You've got, and we've actually got a little tree service business that helps supplement a little bit of cash flow from this farming. But the people that live in this rich valley, we got Walker Mountain and Brushy Mountain on this side. This valley through here, well, you can't do nothing but graze it because it's too rocky, too steep. So what's happened, all the old farmers, all my old guys that I looked up to are dead. You know, but their kids are gone. They had to make a living and they couldn't make it here in Rich Valley. So that was, till they died, was the first really change of hands on farms. And you know, that's what's happened. And now there's a few of me left that's fighting, trying to keep our heritage alive. Like this farm here was my great-great-grandfather's, and all them died out and sold out. And then as the wheel rolled around, I ended up being able to buy it. And well, you sold it at auction, and
you bought it from us.
I sure did, and I appreciate. And the other thing I was saying, the bank owns most of it, but I own a little bit of it, and that's the way. I mean, that's just the way it goes. And but I'm proud to say that I want to keep it in the family if I can. But you know, I'm like everybody else. The economy's tough, and you just got to get tough with it.
Yeah. I understand you got a farm up the road you call the Promised Land. Why do you call it that?
Well, I bought, it was 650 acres, and I bought that thing. I didn't have nothing, but I had to want to. I wanted it. And I said, well, my wife, I told her I bought it, and she said, well, what are you going to do with that land? I said, well, it's the Promised Land. She said, well, why do you call it that? I said, well, I promised the bank I'd pay him for it. And as you know, that was kind of a stepping stone. I ended up selling it for a little profit, and you know, and switch lands around. I wanted down in here and to adjoining property, and so anyway, I ended up, we sold it and made a little bit on it to buy some other property, and that's kind of how that started. So the Promised Land was promising, and it paid off. We sold a big end of cattle, and these cattle that's walking behind us, we got about $1.10 in those cattle coming through here. Well, they was 500 pounds. I bought bulls, I bought horns, I bought tails. We bought just whatever was cheap. And these cattle here was thin and has really done good. And but that's, the market kind of slid there, and we just happened to have that
opportunity right there.
Yeah, and we sold a load of 9-weights and bought a load of 5-weights, but it just happened out that we sold them 9-weights, and then the market kind of.
Tom just said a mouthful right there. He's got $1.10 in these cattle. We got the Avenue Feeder Cattle Association's got 5 or 6 loads on the sale tonight. Those cattle will bring probably between $1.60, $1.65, or maybe more than that, the same kind of cattle. And what he just told you, the future, you're going to have to be an entrepreneur. You're going to have to recognize opportunity. How many cows you run? How much cow-calf? How much stockers, Tom? About do you run?
Well, basically, we had about 100 cows and calves, and we had 200. But my daddy he's 79 years old, and he is a firm believer. It don't matter. He's going to feed cattle, so we got to buy cattle, even if we don't think it's good. He wants to buy cattle because he wants to feed them.
That's right.
And he's 79 years old, and
it.
and at 7:30 he starts feeding cattle where if you're ready or not, he's ready, and he'll feed every one of them. But I mean, that's part. He likes to see them grow. He's been around. He's graded more cattle than anybody in the country, and that's in his blood. But he has taught every one of us. A sick one from you know, I mean, yeah, even my wife and whoever or whatever, we have been. We started the grandkids. He starts them driving him around and looking at and one thing. If you're going to be in the cattle business, you better. The health of them is the most important thing, because if you can't sell a dead, and I'd have done it.
The inputs have got so high. The numbers of cattle in this country are almost at historic lows. There hasn't been the profit margin in, so the number of cattle have gone down. But then this drought came last year and made those inputs go much higher, made corn bring $7 and $8 a bushel. And those two things, the big difference, Tom, when Raymond and my dad was handling these cattle, they could make $300 a head on some of these stockers, but the margin has compressed. You're not making that much on per head, and so you've got to handle more volume to turn over the same dollars.
Folks, stay tuned. There'll be more with Big Tom in a minute.
I had just one other thought, Marcus, that you mentioned additional income off of a farm. A lot of folks out west have gotten into the hunting business in a big way, and it doesn't seem to be that big of a deal back here in Virginia yet. But do you see potential in trying to develop hunting, or would you be interested in that, or not? You have a lot of land under your control now.
I've been doing it for 4 years. I have a Terman Log Homes. I did a commercial for their log homes, and they wanted to pay me for doing that commercial. I said, well, y'all got log cabins? That's what I want. So I traded my time
for a log cabin. Cool.
For a log cabin that's 1,300 square feet that I kind of designed, and hopefully y'all will be able to come back and do. I want for y'all to show the viewers just what a little bit of innovative stuff that don't cost much, but hand-me-downs does. And I had that cabin,
cool,
and I leased my hunting for with the cabin plus hunting season, cool. And that's part of the income that we as farmers we've got to have. We've got to have that, no matter if it's hunting or fishing or whatever. I've got a pond there at my house that's an acre with bass and catfish in it.
Tom, we really have enjoyed this interview with you, and you've proven you are really a survivor. I think most farmers are survivors. They have to be excellent business people. They have to be schedulers, and they're the ultimate land conservators. You got to be a smart person to be a successful farmer. And what you're doing here, I tell you, I think you're doing a real good job. Yeah. We've loved the interview.
Oh, appreciate it.
You could have you could have stayed a movie star, but you came back home to the farm because that's where your heart was at.
Yeah, and I want to thank y'all for coming over and showing stuff, because there's so much stuff. I think of kids now with the video games and some of this other horse manure stuff. Them kids ought to be out doing something. You know, my daddy said, you know, you can always, there's something to do, and to get them out of the house. And I think that's one thing that we've got away from that, and we pat them on the back. And my daddy said, if you got a bone sticking out your skin or a gallon of blood, you might ought to check on it. But other than that, he'd give me something to cry about. So that's kind of what we was raised. If you didn't have something to cry about, he'd give you something. But I want to thank y'all for coming.
Thank you, Tom. We appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all coming.
Tom, there's a whole lot of people, local farmers, looking at you and watching what you do. And you're highly respected in this area, and we appreciate you, okay?
Well, we're hoping, you know, I love to go see how other farmers, and I think that's another mistake that we make. We're over here, and we need to visit one another because there's different things that we're doing. So absolutely. We've all got, and I think this is a good tool to say, well, he's crazy for doing that. We're doing this, and then, you know, but we need to see what we're all doing. And thank y'all guys, and come back. The most interesting thing here is this rock, and I want y'all to look at it. And it was hand hewed, and I said, why? My grandmother was 94 years old. She was 96 when she passed away, and I want to show y'all right here what she told me. She said, I want you to look at this rock. I said, Granny, what's the rock got to do? And she said, well, think about it. See these steps right here? 1,
get on the horse.
2, 3. Exactly. Most people don't realize the women had a side saddle. They'd bring the horse right here, and see, the woman got on this rock side saddle. Now, and this rock, I thought it was just a rock. And if she hadn't told me, it'd still just be a rock. But yeah, but that's what this is, and it was hand hewed. And I don't know, this house is 1834, I believe that's what it is. And so I don't know how they did this, but somebody spent a lot of time to keep them women on that horse without striding.
It's good for riding a buggy or a wagon up there too, wasn't it?
Yeah, I guess. Always good for it now is these youngest climbing on it, but that's hard to believe. But actually, the other building over there was the slave quarters, and you know, and there's a in the one of the room there. I said, "Why is that little set of stairs going down to the kitchen?" And my grandmother said, "Well, that's where Viola stayed." And Viola was a maid that this, I guess, in times that are gone now, that would stay in that room and then go downstairs and hit those steps and see, fix breakfast and everything. Well, that's the reason these houses, it's called slave quarters.
Looking for a private paradise while still being close to town? While sitting out of the town limits, this beautiful property offers all of the privacy of a country home on 9.7 acres with the convenience of in-town living. The mature trees that provide shade and beauty add to the southern charm of this home.
Hello folks, this is Ronnie Mullins here with United Country, Riverside Realty in Tazewell, Virginia. We're here today to look at this beautiful home that we have here in Tazewell on Black Horse Road. So come with me and let's take a tour of this beautiful home.
This 4-bedroom and 2 full-bath home has been updated with new hardwood floors and newer paint. It also has vaulted ceilings, a wood trim, and 2 fireplaces. The master bedroom is located on the first floor. It is spacious and features a full bathroom with double sinks. Plus, the bedroom has a bonus room adjacent to it. The kitchen has also been updated and has plenty of space. On the second level of the home, you'll find a beautiful loft area, 3 bedrooms and an office. The full basement provides a roomy family area with a wood-burning fireplace, and the home has 3 heat pumps.
We're over here with our good buddy at D&H Tractor, Matt Fry. Matt, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Doing great, man. Hey, tell us a little bit about what you got over here and why people need to come and buy some tractors off you.
Well, what we got here is a New Holland T5060. It's a 90 PTO horsepower tractor, 4-cylinder, turbocharged, intercooled. Of course, it's a cab model. It's got a 12x12 power shuttle transmission.
It looks like it's about a deluxe model, ain't it? It's got like a little sun visor, and I mean, it's got AC, everything in it you want, don't it?
Yeah, it's got about everything you need. Don't have a whole lot of bells and whistles, but it's got about everything you need.
I know you saved their hay season many times. When we break down, we'll come over here and get some New Holland parts off y'all.
Yeah.
That's probably a big upside to y'all. You know, a lot of times, you know, certain brands of tractors, if you break down or equipment, they got to be on order, and y'all got them in stock.
Right. We do. We have a good selection. We stock plenty of parts.
Yeah. That kind of tells why y'all are so busy all the time.
Yeah.
Right? How many tractors you sold this month?
This month, well, this month's just starting out. Last month I sold about 8 tractors.
8 tractors in the middle of the winter.
Yeah.
That's pretty good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Folks, thanks for joining us today, and be sure to come down here and visit D&H Tractor, and Matt will be glad to see you, and tell him Alan sent you. Thanks.
Hey, stay tuned. We got some photography from my friend Freddie Waldron. Freddie does a good job, and his phone number is on there if you'd like to have some pictures made. You know, Alan, we've been getting a lot of phone calls from people that live in the city, and you know, a lot of people are yearning to get back to a slower paced lifestyle where they can be self-sufficient and maybe raise some livestock, have a garden, you know, just looking for a better quality of life for their family. You know, I know you live out here on this farm. Why do you like it?
Well, I've always been a country boy, Marcus. I love to I love to be out. I just can't live in a suburb or a subdivision. It's just not me. I have some cattle here I take care of, keeps me busy, keeps my mind occupied, and I just like to be out in nature a lot.
Living in the country is a good lifestyle in Allen. I've got a little place that's not as big as Allen's here, but it's about 100 acres. I grow a garden and I cut my own firewood, and there's a lake there where I can fish, and we get out and ride our four-wheelers and shoot our guns, and you know, it's a slower paced lifestyle. You can just get out and be in nature and see a lot of animals, and you know, it's understandable why people would want to get out of that hustle in the city where it's just nothing but smog and asphalt.
Yeah.
And you know, people in the country are a whole lot nicer out.
Yeah. Well, when me and you went to Florida, it just had a smell about it, and I always heard people about how the air smells so good, and Florida's probably, you know, Orlando's probably one of the biggest cities I'd been in at that time, and when we got back to Virginia, the air did smell a lot better. It's just, I always thought that was just something people said, but it's the truth.
Yeah.
And the water tastes better too.
Yeah. You know, we've got the snow on the ground right now. We've got 4 seasons, and you know, the snow causes a little bit of hardship, but it's beneficial to the ground. It replenishes the water table, puts nitrogen back in the ground, and you know, and everything has a season and a cycle here. It's God's plan, and it works, and we're just fortunate that we live in Southwest Virginia.
Thanks for joining us on our show this week.
Hey, if you missed any part of this show, you can go to uctazewell.com and watch it anytime on the internet.